So before the launch, I believe all of you already run the ng new and give a project name, and will actually create a project in your folder, right? It's just in your Assignment 1 folder. It's supposed to be a folder with your project name you just gave it. It might be my app, it might be Angular, it might be M symbol assignment. Okay, just open it. You can see there's a lot of files inside it. Let me guide you through some of them. So if I open the Sublime, looking for this file, oops, let me close this. Open folder. So let's looking for the folder we just created. It's called M symbol assignment. Okay. So inside here, we have you can see there is a one called package.json. Okay. Here is basically telling you what kind of packages we have in this Angular. Seeing we have seeing Angular animation, Angular command, Angular compiler. Those are the dependencies and the packages we are using. And after that, it tells you which version it is. I believe Angular just updated to 6.0 over the weekend. Okay, last week when I tried, it's still using the Angular 5. Right now, it's using Angular 6. I haven't seen what kind of new functions they adding to the Angular 6 version, but it's compatible for all the previous code. So you can still using the Angular 2, Angular 4, Angular 5. The code is still working in the new version. Okay, so don't worry about that. Okay, let's just let you know this is package.json. Just tell him tell us what kind of dependency we are using, and yeah, that's it. And here we have a lot of other things, like we have E2E here. We have a node module. Node module is just those real components. I mean those dependencies and those packages. Okay, those packages are all in node modules. You don't have to care about them. They are just made by Google, by Angular project team. They made all those modules here. Just this here. E2E is more for we'll use this more for test. We're not going to use it in this class. Okay, it's more for tests. And the most important things are all in this folder source src. Okay. In this folder, this all our code should be going in this source folder. All right. So here I have an app and I have assists. I will go over them later. So firstly, what you can do is if you go back to your command line, the command prompt, or use a git bash. Go to your a git bash folder here. Okay. And if you check the assignment requirement, you see this here. Okay, you see you can actually compile and run your project after you created it. So if you just need to navigate it to create the Angular project, right now I'm in the M symbol assignment. If you just cd the name, cd just navigate you to the folder you name it. Like if you created a name like Angular, just cd Angular. If you created your file named assignment, just cd assignment. Okay, my project name is M symbol assignment. Just cd it. Right now I'm inside the folder. If you just try ng-solve, like this one showing here, which will compile and start your project. Okay, ng-solve. And see there is a 10% building modules. With this to be 100%, your project should be compiled, and you can see what it looks like. Okay, see compiled successfully. When you see this screen, that means your project is ready to see. So if you just go to your browser, checking the localhost 4200, this is where your project should be right now. Okay, the default location is at localhost 4200. It's right here. So your project should be like that. Okay, you can actually try that. So after the creating project, you just use CD to go into the project, or you can use your also you can just click this folder's name inside it and right click, use git bash here. It's the same. Just go into here and try ngserve, and it will run your project for you. It will compile your project so you can find it on the local host 4200. And the content of this page here is basically what we have in this folder source app and app.comment.html. Okay, the code here is basically that page. You see, have a h1 welcome to title image, and have the h2 here, have a list here, right? It's basically what we have here. Okay, the code here is basically what we have here, and this is gonna be our main page. So let's wait for a few seconds, see if you can see the screen here. And I'm recording everything, so if you cannot follow, you can still watch the video and try to do it. Follow the video. Okay, so we already see this is our source. It has a lot of stuff. Many of them you don't have to really care about it. And we have an index HTML here. The index is index HTML is basically it's a home page. Like everything we do here, basically are in a component. A component will be loaded into the index HTML, which is this code here, app.root. This you see in the body here, there is nothing. It's just the app.root. If you see the source page of this one, view page source, you can see there isn't the list or the header here. There's only thing in the body is this app.root. It's dynamically getting the HTML page from our app.comment app.component.html. Okay, the index will loading the code you have here into its body. You don't have to put it. You don't have to put all your code into your index, and it will load the component for you, loading the app component for you. The benefit is all the code is dynamic and they are all secured. Others cannot read your code by just viewing your source code. No one can know it. If they just view the source code, they can see this app.root, and all the codes are hidden in the app.component.html. It's here, and it's all dynamic. Like anything you change here, you see if I change something here, I try adding another h1. Hello from app component. If I save it, it will automatically reload the page for you and put it here. Okay? If I delete it, if I save it, it will automatically load it for you. It's all dynamic. Index page, I never change it. Okay, there's nothing in the body. It's just the app.root. The app.root is basically what we have it here. Okay, we have a selector called app in the app component TS. This TypeScript file. It's basically you can understand it like it's a JavaScript file with a type. Well, just JavaScript file. It's saying a selector app.root. This app.root is how we select this component, this app component. When we call app.root, it will just looking for the this app components HTML and load it for you. Okay? When we say app.root, use the app.root tag here. It's looking for the page with the app.root selector and load the content for you. All right? It's not nothing you need to understand. It's just you need to remember. Like when you're trying to load this component, you just call its selector. So this app folder, this app folder, it contains actually 5 stuff. Have a app.component.html, which is the content of it. have a app component CSS, which is the CSS of it. If we just change the CSS here, if I say change all the H1, change the color into red, save it, it will change it. Well, everything is dynamic. Okay, to delete it, save it, it's just reload the page, change it back. And this CSS file only influence app.component HTML. They are bound together. Okay, if you just have another HTML here, and it won't change the code inside there. Okay, and we have an app.component specific spec.ts spec.ts. You don't have to care anything inside it. This is more for test. You don't have to care anything about it. Okay, just ignore it. Keep it there. Just don't need to touch it. And we have an app.component ts. This is just how you know to link things, link the JavaScript file, link the CSS, and link the HTML together. Okay, the same. We have a selector here. The template URL is app.component HTML, and its style URL is app.component CSS. It's just telling you like those three are linked together. Okay, and we have a class here. Class here we have variable. See, we have variable title equals to app. Well, you don't have to, like in TypeScript, you don't have to put a variable here. Just for say title is equal to a string app. And in the HTML file, you see here we have a welcome to a title with two brackets. This title is basically what you define in JavaScript file, in the TypeScript file. Right? Here we say title equal to app. And when we say welcome to title, it's basically welcome to app. Well, if we change it, we can change it. Change the title here into Angular. If I save it, it will load it for me. Welcome to Angular. This is just how you get in your data. Like, for example, in your JavaScript, when you retrieve a function, return something, how can you move something to the HTML page? Well, this is much easier. You don't have to have some event listener to connect them together. All you have to do is create a variable here, and in the HTML file, you just use a double bracket here and call it, and it will be the variable you created there. It's much easier than using a JavaScript. Like I can just change it. Okay, right now it's a string. I can change it actually a number 50. Save it. Welcome to 50, right? Just this is how you can like bind the data from JavaScript to the HTML. Angular is using the two-way binding. Adding data, adding like variables or data in the TypeScript file will be automatically loading to the HTML file, and adding data in the HTML file, like a user input, will be automatically passing to the TypeScript file. Like it's two-way binding. Any data in here will pass into there. Any data in there will passing back to here. Okay. So as we say, like Angular is really powerful to do Spark a single page application. Like before we were using Angular in Assignment3.1, we did like every page separately. Like login is a page, profile is another page, register is another page. Right? There are different pages. We use hyperlinks to connect them. We have a link here. We click this link. It will go to the profile page, and it will go to the register page. They are all separated. In Angular, we can connect them into one page. They will all of them will be in our index page, but they are separate. They are different components. The different components. Login will be login components. Profile will be profile components. When I click the login button in the login page, it will navigate me to my profile component. It won't like put me into a new page. It will be the same index page, but in another component. It's loading, dynamically changing my current login components into profile component. This is how Angular really works. So let me show you how to do that. Okay, if you just follow in the requirement here, okay, so here we say type local 4200 in your browser, check it, yeah, it works, and then we can actually do stuff next. Create Angular components and their templates. Here we will create components and templates for each page. Now we will have a components for login page, a components for profile page, a component for register page, a component for website page, a component for website new, a component for website edit, a component for page. We have a component for each page. Okay, so how can we do it? So if we just go back to our folder, right? This is the folder where we have everything. Go to the source, go to the app. Okay, here we have to see if your CD source app. It's basically CD is just navigating you to source app. You can just either using your mouse or just double click and go into each folder. So right now I'm in the app folder. With right click, create a new folder here called components. Okay, I just create a new folder, components here. If you check it here, it's here, right? It's in the app folder. So what I want to do here, I want to move those components, those login pages or register pages. I want to move them here. So firstly, let's create some folders. I will create a folder for user, right? User folder, and I'll create a folder for website folder, and I'll create another folder for page, and one last folder for widget. Okay, here I have all four folders, and then I will create components inside them, like in the user folder. How can I create a component? If I just right click, get a bash here, I'm using a command here called nggc login. That means Angular generate component login. nggc login. ng means Angular, g means generate, c means component. Okay, generate a login component here. Enter. Give it a second. See, it's automatically created a login folder for me. And inside here, I have 4 files. I have a login TS, login the component spec TS. I have login HTML and a login CSS. Let's go check what we have there. Okay, so open the components, open the user folder, login folder. We have 4 things here. Let's check them one by one. In the CSS folder, it's basically empty. We don't have any code inside this. It's just style sheet. And we have a login the HTML. We only have a paragraph for us to test. Login works. It just help you to test it. And in the login component spec TS, you don't have to care anything about it. As I said, all the spec.ts are for test. You don't have to care anything about it. Just ignore it. And the login the component TS. This is just a way like they connect things together and create a class here. The class you can just understand it as an object. We will go into it later. Just let you know, like we have a app. So the selector of this is called app.login, app-login. Like we can use it like an app root. We can use app login to log it, to show it. We have a login.component HTML. We have login.component.ts. They are just showing, okay, the URL of it is app.component HTML, and the style of it is login.component CSS. That's our login.component. So remember, our index HTML is connected with app root, which is app component.html, which is this page, right? Which is this page. This page is going to be our root component. This is going to be our root component. Like any other pages will be, like a login component will connect it to app root, will connect it to this page, and this page will communicate with index.html. For example, if I delete everything I have here, we did everything here. If I save it, if I save it, let's make this page will be totally empty. But I can actually call the login component here, like app login. Just use app login. Save it. It will log in the app. It will load whatever I have in login page. In the login page, I have login works, right? So I just load it here. My login page is here. Let's see. Oops. Save changes. Okay. In the login HTML, I have login works, and in the app component HTML, I just call app login. It will load everything here. Okay. I can see more things like if I add a h1 here, say login h1 works. It will load it for me. Right? It will load it for me. So basically, the relationship between them is your app login or app register app profile. They will connect it with your app.component.ts, with your app root, and the app root is connected with your index, right? In the index, we are calling app root. The app root, we are calling the app login, right? This is how you connected them. Okay, so basically you don't have to like write everything in your index file. Keep your index file like mostly empty. Okay, there's only an app root inside it, and all the file are coming to the everything will be in app.component.html, and this one will have an app login, and all the code for the login will be in login.component.html. Okay. Like remember, we already have our code in our login folder in Assignment 1, right? I can just copy the code here. Let's go to the Assignment 1. Assignment 1 is here. So I have a login.html. If I just open it here, let's copy all the code inside the body. I just paste it into here. Let's save it. Well, I just have my login here, right? Login username, password. It is not looks the same as our Assignment 1 because I haven't connect Bootstrap with it, right? Here I don't have any HTML. I don't have any like a head. I don't have body and head. I just directly put all my code inside like my main code inside here. Like remember, we have index HTML, and inside this index HTML we have app root. App component, right? App root is this app component, and the app component we have a login, right? Inside this app component we have login. So basically, all the code in the login HTML, like this div here, is basically will be put inside this body here. Okay? Inside the body of index HTML. All the code for login are in the index HTML. So if I want to call Bootstrap, I can directly put my Bootstrap here. Like that means every page, all my pages loading using the index HTML will be using the Bootstrap here. Okay, if I just have a link here, let me just copy the Bootstrap link. I have it for my Assignment 1, right? I have it here. This is my Bootstrap. Just copy it, put it in my index page. Okay. If I just save it, it will automatically reload my page using the Bootstrap. Okay. So right now it looks like mostly like same as my Assignment 1. But there's only one difference is I don't have any CSS, so it's on the way top. I can using the HTML file. I can using the CSS file to make it down a little bit. If you want to specific using some CSS for app login, you can. For login page, you can add the code into app.component.css. Login.component.css. Okay, login.component.css. If you want to specific some CSS for this page, you can put it here. But if you want to use some general CSS for all your pages, there is a style.css in your profile. You can add global style to this file and import other style files, right? I can add global styles to this file, and this style will be using for all my pages. Okay? There's a style.css connected with our index.html. Okay? So if I just say here, I say body, padding top, 70 pixel, and padding bottom, 70 pixel. Okay, it will just automatically load it for me and move things down a little bit. Okay, right now I have some space before it. So that's it for our login page. Now our links will not work But let's say if I click it, it won't tell me page not found. It's just not working. The Angular is prevent us from showing those errors. Okay. Well, so your first step, you can try to move those things, move your pages. Here we have login component. If I want to create another component, I can just go to my component folder, m symbol, source, app, components folder. Go to user, right click. Let's create a new component here. I can create my ng generate component register. Create another component here. And we have my register folders here, right? And I can actually copy my code from my Assignment3.1 to create the register folder. Where is my register folder? It's here. The code is right here. Okay, register works. I need to copy my Assignment3.1 code here to change it. User profile, user register here. Let's find all the code. You only need to copy the code inside the body. Okay. Others those HTML, those head tags and those a meta tag and link tag in the head will be the same, right? All the pages have the same meta tag links. They will all in the index HTML. They will be all in here. Okay. They will be the same. So we are always using actually the same page, but just loading the different components. So what I have is a register. Let's copy the div here, put it into a register. Okay. And in order to test it, we have to change my app root, app the component here, app the component HTML. Change this from app login to the selector here, app register. Okay, change this. Where is that app? Okay, change app login to app register. App register, and this app the register. Save it, and it's showing my register page. Okay. Right now we can just firstly know to recreate those pages into components, and then I will show you how can we navigate between them. Instead of just using hyperlinks, we can just regenerate the components. Okay, so let's firstly create those components first. I already created login and register, and I'll give you some time to create all of them. Right? We should have about 16 or 17 components, and all of them the instruction is in our Assignment3. Okay, generate the login, generate the component file, generate the register. Let's keep working on them. I ask you to generate Angular components for website new, website edit, and website list, and ask you to generate components for page, and ask you to generate components for widgets. And there's a few more. Refactor the old HTML file into Angular fragments. Remove the following tags, and copy the code from old files to new files. Okay, and we can delete those files, old files. Okay, and we can finish that part first, and then we'll keep working on the things after. I'll give you half hours to get familiar. You don't have to finish all of them, but make sure you can do a few of them. Okay, and I can put the video after you right now. I don't want to move